Hey, all right, here we are playing a little bit of Minecraft, doing some Minecraft therapy, and ta-da! We have our lantern. It's lit up, sort of, kind of. I'll explain it here in a second. It's nighttime, so it turns on, and we have messed around with a lot of redstone stuff, and it's taken quite a bit of trial and error. And I think we got something that's close to my vision. We threw in a border, a wall of sorts around the base here, just to keep the critters out. Spruced it up a little bit, and just kept the basics going. We got a little more usage of our land here. We um, uh, the imperial wheat. Um, I wanted to have to, I wanted some lava, some renewable lava. So I made this up down here as a nice little spot to harvest some lava, and then because I was tired of trying to search for it in the Nether. Not that there isn't an abundance in the Nether, but it was also putting myself into danger because I spawn my first Nether portal is way up in the sky, so it takes a little bit to get down to the lava. And then I added some. I went on an epic journey looking for more glowstone, and I got very little. But I also managed to come across a crimson forest when I popped out through one of my tunnels. And if I just bone meal these little spots here, I can fix the little holes. You get holes whenever you make a tree. And then I was scavenging some of these the lights to use. I got like one right over there, and there's another one inside the house. All right, so let's go inside. I did some tree clearing. Part of that tree clearing is this stuff here. These are all replants along this edge, and let's just go ahead. This right here, I needed pale moss for the leaves. As you can see, we have leaves now on the tree. But I wanted some more, like so. These bad boys, they hang down, but they don't grow by themselves. Hey, um, uh, uh, back off. They don't grow by themselves. Like if you just place one, it'll stay as one. It doesn't seem to be growing at all. So I need to add some more because I did some this way, and they haven't grown. And you can't really tell at nighttime very much. It's very faint, but there's a couple little spots with the resin as berries. That's what I'm working on right now. Just finished putting in a full double chest and a half, I think, of leaves up there. To get the moss, I made this little contraption here. It grows it and picks up some of it down here with a chest and a minecart thing. Eventually, it'll go down there if it didn't go into my inventory. I got this guy here for gathering snow. Uh, Here we go. And it's the same difference. There's a little chest to gather some of the snowballs down here. And all that snowballs, if you hear like the little tone sounds, like I had said in the previous episode, I was thinking of throwing down some pressure plates and so these guys can walk across the note blocks. And they are. Um, uh, and the notes are varied, but they're all the same, like piano. I haven't like changed any of the instruments, and they'll chase me across them here. And you'll get a lot of clickety clickety noises, and then beat me up. Oh no, I don't have any armor on. Um, yeah, chill. And we and that was a bit of a process. So, I also wanted to make it so that I was harvesting the resin. Like when I punched this guy, it's going to go over there and it's going to add some resin to one of those blocks. And each time I do that. And I thought, like, well, gosh, there's got to be something that will automatically do that. So I tried snowballs. We have snowball dispensers down here, and they'll shoot snowballs into the air. And I thought, like, oh, well, they'll eventually trigger the snowball dispenser, get hit with a snowball, and then it'll get added over here to this, and then I can go by and collect it during the daytime. Guess what? I was wrong. They do not get affected by the snowballs when I'm not throwing them. The dispenser does not count. So I was like, well, what about arrows? So I had this, like, so there's arrows in this dispenser, and if I throw this switch, there, it hit him with an arrow, no particles. So it didn't work. So the snowballs and the arrows didn't work. I tried the snowballs and the golem, and both of those don't this guy here and the golem, both of those don't work. They don't create the resin by themselves. So this little group of dudes here, it's all me. So if I want to collect, I just have to punch these guys. I can use my sweeping sword. I can get a few more in a go. But they have to have like a little bit of a reset. So you have to like wait for the particles to finish shooting back and forth, and then they're good to go again. And granted, they're not all gathered up perfectly. They're spread out a little bit, so it could be better. And as for the song that happens when they're walking across it, it's minimal. It adds a little bit of a sound to the world. I tried using wooden pressure plates. If I used wooden ones, I think maybe the snowballs might have triggered the notes as well. But the stone ones, they fit like visually better with the pale moss and stuff. As for the tree, I'm happy with how the tree's gone. I got to add more of the hanging moss. I'm going to add some more of the resin to the leaves, but not much more. I want it to be minimal. Our wither here, he's growing some fiery around him. I got an extra skull on him now. We got our fence goes all the way around our place. It's got some access points. Working on getting some pigs and sheep built up a little bit, and yeah, I think things are going pretty decent. I've been having some fun doing this, dealing with the realities of the world in between. So I'm not sure what's more eventful, reality or Minecraft, but we're slowly ticking away at both of them. And part of ticking away at reality is dealing with things like just last night we went on an epic vision quest, which means that I spent my day off just dreaming the whole day, and it was pretty cool. A lot of interesting dreams. All I had to do was just sleep. So that's not that bad. So if we go upstairs here, I still have the light, the copper bulbs here, and they've all gone sour. Let's see here. There we go. So we're gonna need wax to make these so that they don't go dim. But also, they get all out of order. And I want to use redstone lamps instead of the copper bulbs. Here's some of the lights that we put in here to get rid of all the torches. I want to use redstone lamps instead of copper bulbs, because I can make the redstone lamps stay on or off with the daylight sensor, and I got that understood a little bit, I guess. So I want this bottom row to be all redstone lamps. So these copper bulbs are going to go away on this bottom row. And then I want the ones that are blinking on and off to be all the copper bulbs, but I'm going to need to wax them to make them bright again. Because I don't want to sit here and do this every time. but that's the, so I got these repeaters here, and if you touch the repeater and you make it this piece go farther away, this pulse that I'm getting from these two sensors that are touching each other, that will make them slower each time. So it's slower up here, and then, as it extends up here, it'll extend the pulse. It hits another one up here, and then it has a slower pulse as well as it goes up to here. Um, I've gone through and I've had this so where like it was uniform and it was looking like it was kind of swirling out, but as the days progress and things come out of order, yeah, it just becomes kind of tedious to try to fix it every single night. This sticky piston grabs this block here and pulls it away, and I guess this torch makes it so that it stays one way or the other. Let's trigger it again with there we go. Nope. One of these will hold it, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I really don't know. But on our vision quest that we had, that should stop it. There we go. On our vision quest, we were addressing. I was going over things. Oh, there's a goat up there. We have a compass, or in our spyglass. We were addressing things that we were not talking about or going over. Oh, he's just going over the hill. Perfectly, got him. We were dreaming about the things that we weren't talking about, that we weren't dealing with, and it's refreshing to know that I'm even when I'm not trying, I'm succeeding at processing things that are bothering me, issues. And so here we are again in Minecraft, doing our little therapy sessions, and just cranking away at our world, just trying to escape the 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 reality that we live in. And it's funny that it's not like I'm trying to escape. It's not the other way around. I'm not trying to escape my Minecraft world to go back to my reality. I'm I'm purely focused in on escaping my reality to stay in my Minecraft world. And some of those emotions that we ignore and get away from, um, they they are taxing to think about. Things that make you sad. Like if you were to think about the death of a loved one, or to 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 think about like your what's it called, your dreams, your aspirations, your goals, your setting in life, and not have to um and not talking about it, and not dealing with the situation at hand. So not fixing the problems that you have going on, and just surviving another day. And granted, it's that's one way you can go about it. I mean, surviving is important. Just waking up again, doing the whole process. But how do we uh, how do we keep ourselves on the path of making progress? Well, part of that is acknowledging, like, okay, well, what is it? What is the thing that we are not doing? And one of the things that we are not doing is embracing embracing change in a constructive way. So you can embrace change in ways that are like acknowledgement, and but you can also embrace change in ways that are actively doing something about it. So, like if you had to do your taxes, or if you had to, work out or eat better, or if you had to have a conversation with somebody that was not a great conversation to have with them, or if you had to address, a community type situation where you needed to confront how things were being done, and you needed to say your piece, all these types of flavors and situations. In some aspect, it's easy to let others do all the actual work of building this world and society that we currently inhabit, this greater the greater Minecraft world. But if you don't say your piece, if you don't somehow vocalize your ambition to for what you see, so you're calling the world on its actions. So, and it's very much against what I'm for in some ways, because I very much feel that letting others do their thing is pretty important, um, irregardless of their actions and how it affects others. It's it's tough to moderate the world that we live in without without having some sort of say. And and then who am I to have anything to say when I don't make it's like, it's like, why would I need to make sure that somebody else's house is clean when my house is not clean in of itself, like physically, like not necessarily the junk on my floor, or the smudge on my monitor, but more so like my outlook, my upkeep, and my being. So, those kind of things are what I'm talking about, as is like not not becoming foolish to the point of, is this going to land on anything important? Going to land on a moss block, and it's not gonna stand. Okay. Here. Nope. Um, so that's the kind of things I've been thinking about, and those are the things that come around in the dreams where we are having conversations and dealing with the world and doing the stuff that we think about, but we don't actually take action on. So those vision quests become pretty important, because otherwise, if we were to not actually actively go to the lengths that it would take to, communicate our thoughts and desires, our motivations to the world around us, we could just end up, getting bottled up, and that's not good. You gotta say your piece, I guess, a little bit. So, yeah, not so bad in the grand scheme of things. We got to keep on putting a couple berries here and there. Add some more moss, hanging moss stuff to the place. And I think it's starting to look like I thought it was going to look like. I like to leave the underside of the branches open as much as I can so that I can see the trail of it going up. And it's neat. I'm sure we'll try different types of tree types later on. This is just the the vibe process that I've been doing, and it's coming out pretty good. I think pretty fun. So I don't think we're gonna worry about filling up this place with snowball launchers or arrow launchers anymore. But the note blocks has been a fun little adventure, and then we have to work on going over to the end and fighting the dragon, doing all that other fun stuff. Trying to bolster ourselves after we had lost everything to a death, and we decided to just run away from it all and go hide. So, and the vision quest becomes reality when we escape and go do our own thing, I guess. Anyway, be well, take care, take luck, and have yourself a nice little vision quest. Enjoy a good dream. All right, later.